We are live. Welcome. I will give you a chance to come on in and settle down with some cool beverage of your choice. Water in this case for me. Hey there. Welcome. I'm going to kind of shift this around and see if I can get a... There we go. Hi. Welcome. I am Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and thank you for joining me for my weekly live here on YouTube. Today is kind of a lot of information to share with you, so I'll give you all a couple minutes, couple seconds to join me while I enjoy my water. All right. So today's topic is a little bit generic because there's a lot of information to share with you. But I wanted to... Okay, so we have lots of helpful information on our website. We've got growing tutorials, we've got videos. It's not printable, but we have printable planting information if you ask for it. A lot of this is available on my blog, which is at marysheirloomseeds.com. If you haven't already checked it out and you're not sure where to go, you can go to marysheirloomseeds.com and you can click on Mary's blog. If you are on a computer, like a desktop, it's up at the top. If you are on a mobile device, it's on the left-hand side. There's 3 little bars and you click that and there's a drop-down menu and you can check out Mary's blog. Mary, that's me. Yes, there really is a Mary. So for those of you for just joining me for the first time, welcome. For my regulars, welcome as well. Hit that subscribe button or the like button for the video today if you haven't already subscribed. We would appreciate it. I would especially appreciate it. So something kind of touchy, I guess. Maybe it's not touchy. It's just kind of different. I usually avoid discussing like the negative stuff. And it's not because I want to hide certain things from you. It's just that there's a lot of negativity out there, and I do try to stay positive. Hey, Rachel, thanks for joining us. You're shelling a lot of beans that you bought from us right now. Awesome. Congratulations for your healthy harvest. So there's always ups and downs. Hey, Christian, welcome, and happy Thursday. There's always ups and downs in the garden. And I do share. I'm pretty open about my own ups and downs in the garden. But I usually steer clear of the negativity because I try to be positive in everything that I do. Some of the things that I've mentioned before is I don't consider garden failures a failure. I consider it an opportunity to learn. My friend Christina, she's also an affiliate here at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. She said she's been failing all over the garden, but you use that for future and you learn from it, and it's an opportunity to learn and to get more knowledge about what works in your garden, what doesn't. So again, I don't consider garden failures an actual failure, but I did want to address one thing. I got a really negative email a couple weeks ago. I did mention this, I think, on our Instagram channel or whatever. The person that emailed me, they're now a former customer because we don't appreciate super nasty negativity. But the email said that you can't grow, something like it was impossible to grow a garden in East Texas in July. And I thought, I'm doing it. So I really, hey Matt, thanks for joining us. You said happiness is a choice. It absolutely is. I have plenty of crappy days, but taking it out on other people is just not what I do. And honestly, telling me I can't do something, especially as something like growing from seed in the garden, is really just an opportunity to like cheer me on and make sure that I really put even 110 or even more into my garden than I may have been doing already. Because, you know, the best way to kind of, I guess you'd say, to the best way to prove them wrong is to just go for it. So I really try to share as much positive as I can. So today, my topic is seeds are amazing. Because really and truly, seeds are amazing. Growing from seed is amazing. So I already have a couple gardens planted. If you haven't seen my video, I've got a couple of previous videos from our garden here. I don't have a recent garden update because I hope to do that this weekend. Our gardens are almost 4 weeks old. Actually, I should say our oldest gardens are almost 4 weeks old. So when somebody tells me that you can't, I'm like, I'm looking at this beautiful garden in front of me and I can, and I am doing it. Let me read some of these comments here. Hello from East Tennessee. First time watching, learning a lot. Awesome. In your first year using seeds, yes, we all make mistakes. I mean, I'll get to that in just a second, actually. I have a little info on that. Did you get a lot of heavy rain in Tyler? Oh, yes. We are in East Texas. We had a lot of rain. If you follow my, let's see, over here, we feel like if we don't fail often enough each year, then we didn't push our boundaries enough. Oh yeah, I'm going to be mentioning that very soon. So, to answer your question, Christian, I did a short video on, and I shared it at Sunshine Homestead on Facebook. That's also me. That's kind of my personal Facebook, but I don't share a lot of the business stuff to it. I just share what I'm doing. So I dug a ditch. We still don't have our tractor. I'm fingers crossed it arrives next week. So I dug a ditch from one end to the other, and I was hoping to divert some of the rain. We had some reports said 7 inches, and I doubt it was 7 inches. So sunshine, see? Yay! But it was about 3 inches, and it was fast. We had like 3 inches in a couple hours. So some of the garden this garden in particular did take some damage. This garden over here had no damage whatsoever because a stream literally runs through the garden rows. So I have rows that go this way and the stream went that way. So I did lose a couple plants, but you know what? No big deal. I'm learning in this new garden, in this one in particular, in that one over there, and in those over there. I am learning how to better the garden for next year. I would rather fail, right? Remember, fail for 4 seasons in our new garden, which we're not failing, we're learning, than not do anything at all. Because doing nothing isn't an option for me. Not growing in a new area is so exciting. It really is. Every little failure for me in this new place is an opportunity to learn how I would change things next time. Maybe 3D print some leaning roofs. So what I plan to do is for next year, I'm going to build up that particular garden. That's the large garden that we started. It is about 20 feet by 60 feet. So I'll be adding topsoil to that area and then adding compost as well to build up that area so that the stream literally runs around it. And then I'm also going to put in some rain barrels in different areas so that we can divert some of that water that's going through the garden and use it for future gardens. So we've got a lot of planning to do. We have been here not even 5 weeks. We are on day 32 here in Ben Wheeler. So we have accomplished so much in such a small time. There's really no reason for me to think that it's not possible for me to accomplish a lot of these goals that I have. So let's talk about the gardens. We already have some gardens planted in different areas of the property, like I mentioned. We've already added 2 pear trees. I'm already planning on adding some heirloom raspberries as well, but those won't go in until the end of fall or that type of area, just from what I'm reading. This will be my first time attempting raspberries, so that's fun. We don't grow them from seed. We will be buying them from a local nursery because they would take a really long time. So we already have some awesome stuff. Now, let me talk about this. We already have some seedlings growing as well. We've got tomatoes that are already about ready to transplant. I'm already transplanting some peppers. You can see behind me, I've got a whole new tray of new seeds. We started toothache plant and it germinated in 3 days. I added 2 more rows of jade bush beans over there, and those germinated in about 3 and 4 days also. 2 20-foot rows of jade bush beans, and they're thriving. The germination rate on those jade bush beans is phenomenal. So I read a post the other day in a gardening group, and it was kind of disheartening. And so I kind of wanted to share a little bit of that with you. The person stated that they were scared off from planting pepper seeds because the seed company that they were looking at, not Mary's Heirloom Seeds, that's for sure, the seed company that they were looking at had made it seem scary to grow peppers because they took so much care or effort or whatever the issue was. I don't know 100%. But I'm here to tell you that growing from seed is amazing, and growing peppers from seed is also amazing. Sure, you can totally buy plants from your local nursery. And Christian says peppers do well in Texas. Peppers do amazing in Texas so far. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, MT Callie. Welcome and thank you. I love growing from seed as well. So getting back to that. So yes, like I said, you can buy plants from your local nursery. But I went to my local nursery after reading that post. We currently offer over 80 varieties of heirloom tomatoes. My local, it's a big box store that carries the vegetables. There's a couple other nurseries around here that do fruits and things like that I am already shopping with. But the vegetables in particular, they had 5 varieties of heirloom tomatoes. So the variety available when you grow from seed is amazing. And let's get back to the peppers. The lady said she was kind of scared off about growing peppers from reading online from another company. Growing peppers from seed is really not that difficult. If you purchase good heirloom pepper seeds, which we have quite a few, the seeds will germinate in about 7 to 10 days, sometimes earlier depending on your growing conditions. Hot peppers can take a little longer. MT Callie says, I bought peppers I bought from you are growing, so are my tomatoes and lettuce varieties. Awesome to hear. Now, hot peppers can take a little more effort. Sometimes they can take up to 3 weeks to germinate, even 4 weeks, depending on it. So all kinds of pepper seeds can be easy and very prolific. Absolutely. So I have yellow Scotch bonnets here. They are thriving. This is my second batch of yellow Scotch bonnets here on our property. I've already have some transplanted, and now these will go in containers that I will most likely bring indoors because you may or may not know that you can overwinter yellow Scotch bonnets. In the past, I have not done that because I really didn't need to, but now I'm going to try overwintering them so I can have multiple crops, maybe in the winter time. It'll take some effort on my part. It'll take some lights. It'll take some heat, but we'll figure that out when we get there. But growing them from seed doesn't need to take a lot of effort. It doesn't need to take a lot of work. You can use a heat mat, which I have done in the past, and I have done it successfully because peppers like heat. We have 2 Scotch bonnets from you growing as well. Awesome. Love to hear that. So peppers are one. They are amazing. They are prolific. From a single seed. Hey, Kathy's joining us from Sheeran Homestead. Thanks for joining us. So I don't know if I pronounced your last name right. Sorry. So they can grow prolific. You can get such a harvest from them, and you can grow them from seed. It just takes a little work, and it's not even a lot of work. And it doesn't have to be scary. If you have questions, you could always send me an email. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. For those of you just joining me, please hit that like button on our video and subscribe if you haven't already. So we're talking about growing from seed. We already talked about what I've been doing in the garden, and we already talked about what you can accomplish in the garden. Last week we talked about fall planting, which is what some of these here are. We've got more pink chard, we've got collards, I've got more peppers, I've got more tomatoes, I've got a lot growing out here. We do have a longer growing season. Now, Doc said to me today, he goes, well, isn't it almost done? And the answer to that is no. We have a very long growing season here in East Texas. We are in zone 8A, and we have approximately 223 frost-free days. You're amazing me with how much work you're doing in this heat. It is hot. So Sharon Homestead, you are friends with me on my personal page, so you know what I've been really up to. It's a lot of work, but it doesn't have to be a lot of work. If you want to grow a small garden, it doesn't take that much work. Now, for me, I do have a lot more work ahead of me because we're Mary's Heirloom Seeds. We're not just talking about growing for my personal use, we're also talking about growing and saving some seeds. So all that information is on our website. I won't even get into all of that. But this new homestead is amazing. I am learning so much about what I can accomplish. I was actually going to consider talking about a different topic tonight, but I kind of wanted to go into the seeds part today. So we've got hot peppers growing, we've got sweet peppers growing, we've got tomatoes growing. Our Three Sisters garden is thriving despite a minor flood. Christian asked if we got a lot of that rain that they had in Tyler. And yes, we absolutely did. We got about 3 inches and it went right through the garden. But our Three Sisters garden is raised up. And everything is thriving right now. The okra we planted at the same time as the Three Sisters garden is also thriving. And it's only about a week and a half old. We're talking 10 days, and I'm looking at it right now. The corn is already several inches tall. I'd say about 3 inches tall. The beans are 3 inches tall. I can see it from here, which is pretty cool. The red burgundy okra we planted, they've got these beautiful red stems. Those are a couple inches tall already. So the garden is doing well. I'm kind of melting in the heat sometimes, but that's okay, which is why I'm staying hydrated while I do my video. Take a break for a sip. After germinating, growing, and transplanting into the garden, do pepper plants take long to produce their peppers? Now that depends. Hot peppers usually take a little longer to produce than sweet peppers, and it really depends on when you transplant. Most peppers you're talking about, depending on the variety, you're looking at anywhere from 60 days from transplant to 100 days from transplant. So it absolutely depends on what you're growing, when you transplant, how much water and nutrients you get, and then also if it's a sweet pepper or a hot pepper. In my experience, hot peppers take a little longer. My yellow Scotch bonnets are usually one of the last to start producing, whereas like my jalapenos, they already have flowers on them. Carolyn says, Southeast Texas and all of Florida, South Georgia have 3 or 4 growing seasons. This is such a blessing here in Florida. It really is. You can grow year-round in southern, in Florida. Now, I don't know if I can grow year-round in East Texas. In Southern California, I grew year-round. So we'll see. We have a little shorter of a growing season, but we'll see. Last year, they had Snowmageddon, so I don't think much survived outside, but I can definitely grow inside our shop. So I will be doing a video. I'll be doing an updated video. The first video I did on the garden when I said, yes, we're starting a garden from scratch in July, our garden was about 13, 14 days old. So the next video I'll do is when our garden is about 4 weeks old, maybe 30 days. It really just depends on when I can get out there and do a video. But everything is going really well. Our gray zucchini is probably the best right now. I saved some Kajari melons and forgot to ferment them. Will that cause an issue? I have no idea. I don't usually ferment I don't usually ferment melon seeds. I'm in Central Valley, California, close to Stockton. Amazing fruits and veggies grown up here. Awesome. Yeah, we grew some amazing gardens in Southern California as well. So Christian says, yes, that cold spill killed the citrus trees, but baby branches came out of the ground next to the dead branches. Awesome. See? Life. Seeds are amazing. Some can germinate in a couple days. Some require very little help, and some do require a little bit more. For example, some need cold stratification, which you can naturally do by planting your seeds in the fall and waiting for your winter to allow them to go through a natural cold stratification process, or you can do it in a refrigerator, which we have shown you in previous videos as well as on our website. If you're not sure, you can go to our website and you can use the search option for cold stratification, and you will find an article describing pretty in depth on how to do cold stratification yourself. They are tiny little powerhouses. These little teeny seeds can sometimes produce pounds, hundreds of pounds, depending on what you're growing. Our Geet Okosomen squash was 16 pounds. My Hubbard squash, just one on a single plant that produced multiple, was 16 pounds. So you can grow a lot of food from that teeny tiny seed, and it's really just amazing. It really is. I mean, I could go on and on all day long telling you about how amazing seeds are, but unless you do it yourself, you may not see how amazing it really is. For me, they really are amazing. And my goal with Mary's Heirloom Seeds has always been, from day one, to help people grow the healthiest, most successful garden possible. So we really do hope to be able to give you the information you need to be able to produce a healthy, successful garden. So that information can be found on our website. We've got a comprehensive planting guide. We have an entire series of growing from seed on our website. There's so much information. If you send me an email, I will try to help you out and find that information for you and send it your way. Like I said, my email is marysheirloomseeds.com. The website is marysheirloomseeds.com. We do have a seed sale going on right now. Today is July 22nd. We have a seed sale going on through July 25th. We're also including 2 free seed packs with each of your orders. That information can also be found on our website at Mary's blog. So if you haven't seen Mary's blog, check it out. I'm here to help. I don't sit here in front of a camera, which, by the way, I never used to be comfortable in front of a camera. I used to get so nervous. Now I get excited. Now I'm all excited to do my weekly Thursday. But before, I would just have the nervous jitterbug, like people watching me. But my goal has always been to help you grow food. And if that means having to be in front of a camera, that's what I'm doing. So just ask the questions. If you don't try, you're not going to, there's no way for you to succeed if you don't try. So plant that seed. If you're not sure, ask the question. And the cool thing about tomatoes, I know I mentioned peppers originally, but the cool thing about tomatoes in particular is everybody loves heirloom tomatoes, at least in my experience. When people ask me, well, what do you do? I say, well, I sell heirloom seeds and I teach people how to grow food. I don't just sell seeds. We try to help you. You don't see the type to rub negativity on anybody. I feel you respectfully and awesome. Well, I do try. I really do. There's no point in being negative at all. So if you ask 10 people how to grow heirloom, tomatoes in general, it says, are you growing carbachi this year? I am growing carbachi peppers this year. Let's see. Here is one tray of several I have of carbachi peppers. So yes, I'm definitely growing carbachi this year. If you ask 10 people how to grow heirloom tomatoes, you'll probably get 11 answers. So heirloom tomatoes are usually what people think of when I say I sell heirloom tomatoes and I teach people how to grow food. They go, oh, like tomatoes? Because that's like one of the biggest heirloom like the most popular, I guess, would be tomatoes. Number one, because the taste is fantastic. Store-bought tomatoes compared to homegrown heirloom tomatoes, there is no comparison. Absolutely none. They are just something amazing about heirloom tomatoes. Some of our varieties can be traced, a couple generations, and some of them can be traced hundreds of years. Some claim to be thousands of years old. So it really just, these little teeny powerhouses can really provide a lot. Not only just an education, exercise. I was kind of joking around to myself, I guess, talking to myself this morning while I was shoveling compost. It's my gym. We're further out now that we don't have a gym membership, so we do have some weights at home, but the garden is my gym at this point. It's really getting me, giving me a lot of work to handle and sweat early in the morning. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy it, and I think that's the key. Let's see, our tomatoes are just ripening. Aunt Ruby's German is the first time growing variety and very impressed. Semi-sweet and no acidity. Awesome. Let's see, I think I missed some comments here. Tomatoes are easy to grow. I have had the same plant for 3 years now. Awesome. So yes, growing from seed is amazing. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I am going to sign off because I'm starting to get a little overheated in this evening heat. Rehydrating. If you've got any questions, like I said, send me an email. We do have a seed sale, and as soon as I'm done with this video, I will share the link in the description section of this video. Check out our older videos. One of the more recent videos I've got was showing you our garden. And I will have, like I said, lots more videos in the future. Thank you so much for joining me on our adventure here. Seeds are amazing. Growing from seed is amazing. I am Mary, signing off on this beautiful Thursday evening, and if you have some seeds, go plant them.